Oh boy. The Milwaukee Bucks are atrocious. They are horrible this season. We haven't seen championship contenders play this bad in a long time. And when a team is playing this bad, when you have superstar talent, you have an annual MVP candidate in Giannis, who's proven he can win a chip, win a finals MVP, be part of the best player in the NBA conversation every year. When you have Damian Lillard, who's a low-tier MVP threat, perennial all-star, scoring threat from anywhere on the court, and you can't win a basketball game when your talent level is comparable to, say, the Dallas Mavericks, who went to the finals, and you can't win a basketball game in the regular season, your problems go deep. They go hit the back of the cervix deep. They go submarine implosion deep. They go... What else can we say that's offensive? Now I'm going to be using the Brooklyn Nets game that was horrific and the 2 losses to the Cavaliers to display the big issues with this Milwaukee Bucks squad. Now let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Doc Rivers sucks. In today's NBA, the head coach needs to be either a development coach, somebody who can bring the young guys along. That's what Mark Daigneault has brought to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think that's his limit. Hot take, I don't like him as a winning head coach, but he really brought culture to Oklahoma City Thunder. I think Monty Williams, when he was in Phoenix, was incredible at bringing along those guys, motivating them, making them play at their best. If you're not a development guy, you need to be creative. You need to bust out incredible plays. Mark Jackson did that with the original Steph Curry Warriors, where they said, you know what, let's shoot 5 million three-pointers a game. Rick Carlisle is building an incredible offense out there in Indiana. Or you need to build a winning culture. Somebody like Pop, somebody like Spoelstra, somebody like Kerr, who puts all the pieces together, makes the role players play in their roles, lets the superstars play their superstar roles, and everybody is happy. And Doc Rivers is none of those. Doc Rivers' best talent is he can motivate a really awful, a really bad team to play decent 500 or above 500 basketball. So when there's no superstars on the court, and when there's guys like Tremont Waters on the starting lineup, Doc Rivers can coach that team up to play better than they are. And then when there's superstars on the team, Doc Rivers runs them into the ground, doesn't know how to use them, and plays horrific basketball. So at the end of the day, Doc Rivers has the same skill set as a McDonald's HR motivational video. Here we are, 14 seconds left in the shot clock. Let's run our offense. Okay, what is the play? Giannis, ISO, mid-range pull-up jumper. That was the play. Out of a dead ball situation, that was the play that Doc Rivers has set up for this team. They couldn't get the ball to the player. They didn't run any offense. They didn't even set a screen. No that you guys missed. Here we go. The Nets miss. Now it's time for Pat Connaughton to bring the ball up the court. Why? Because they don't have a backup ball handler. They have DeLon Wright, who has regressed into the dirt. So Pat Connaughton is now bringing the ball up the court again. He tries to make a pass cross court. Ill-advised. Who is this? Nick Claxton makes a great read on it. Out of bounds on DeLon Wright, turnover. Here's the play. Basic pick and roll. Nick Claxton is going to come up here, set a screen. Cam Thomas is going to take it. Pat Connaughton is going to go under. Can you tell me why Giannis isn't switching this? Can you tell me, for the love of God, what Giannis is doing playing a deep drop? Nick Claxton weighs 7 pounds. Pat Connaughton can switch off, push Claxton out of the paint. Giannis can get up on Cam Thomas. You know he's not going to do anything other than shoot the ball. Instead, Pat Connaughton tries to go over. Giannis is at the free throw line, wide open 3. Bang! What are we doing here? Why is Taurean Prince on the floor? We have a transition break going. Good stuff. Let's go quick. Giannis, they're building a wall already. They got 1, they got 2, they got 3. Cam Thomas is looking at him already. And Cam Johnson is already saying, I'm going to help if I have to. They're building the wall. Giannis turns it into a dribble handoff with Taurean Prince here. Disgusting. Why is Taurean Prince on the court? Taurean Prince takes the screen. Now you have a 2-on-1 situation here. Giannis is going to be open for the lob or the floater. Unfortunately, Taurean Prince can't hit a floater. So Taurean Prince drives, forces Nick Claxton to make a decision. That's good. This is a lob. Go over the top. Nick Claxton is committed to the ball. This is a lob. Giannis is already expecting it. You can see as he goes up to jump, and oh, no, it's a pathetic floater instead from Taurean Prince. Why is Taurean Prince on the floor? Offensive rebound here. Nick Claxton does a great job of tapping it out. You like to see either Taurean Prince or Giannis get into the body and don't let him jump up. That's fine. Now you have Gary Trent Jr. on an island. Gary, you're all by yourself. Good luck. You're a horrible defender. What are you going to do? Cam Thomas blows right by, gets the foul, gets the and one. Get off the court. Once again, they're pressing full court. You remember when the Timberwolves did this to the Nuggets? They had Aaron Gordon bring the ball up the court because they need to get into their offensive set. This is too disruptive. This is when you want to let one of your secondary ball handlers bring the ball up the court. Let Gary Trent Jr. bring it up. Let Giannis bring it up. Heck, let Bobby Portis bring it up. It's okay. So here we are. They're trying to run horns action. Everybody's ready, but Dame has not even crossed the half-court line yet because of the full-court press. Nobody's giving him any help because they're not playing as a team. They're not playing as a connected unit. Bobby finally sets a screen and rolls. This is open, but Damian Lillard doesn't know how to pass. One of the things about Damian Lillard is we didn't realize how bad of a passer he is. Dump this over. You have this whole lane here. Bobby Portis is either going to get a layup on, I believe this is Dennis Schroeder, or he's going to kick it to an open three-point attempt from Gary Trent. Instead, Damian Lillard struggles with the double team, has to almost turn it over. Nick Claxton overplays, just barely misses the steal. Giannis has the ball. Now you're at 13 seconds left because you weren't able to run your play because of the full court press. Fine. 13 seconds is enough to create something, I guess. Giannis barrels into the chest, gets blocked, draws the foul. Once again, the offense is go create, please. Save my possession. Giannis misses both of his free throws because he's a horrific three-point shooter. You got some mismatches here. Gary Trent's trying to guard Nick Claxton. Damian Lillard on Zaire Williams. Somehow Giannis has ended up on Dennis Schroeder. Taurean Prince on Cam Thomas. Bobby Portis on Noah Clowney. Looks like they're going to try to run a screen here. Dennis Schroeder sets the screen. Cam goes around. And this is what you do. You switch. This is the part of Giannis's defensive versatility. He can defend 1 through 5. Cam accepts the screen. Taurean Prince takes a bit but switches. Cam gets bumped a little bit. One-on-one versus Giannis. This is a good possession. 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Go create Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas drives, puts up an ugly floater, misses. Nobody gets the rebound. Well, what happened? Nick Claxton knows that he needs to go under and try to get for the offensive rebound. Damian Lillard just needs to stick his butt into Zaire Williams. Don't let anything happen. Let's see what Damian Lillard does here. Ball watches, ball watches. Zaire cuts. Damian Lillard is already too late. Damian Lillard doesn't care. Damian Lillard is low effort and put back Zaire Williams. Now Zaire is talking smack. And this is just don't do this coaching. This is we're down by 15. Let's run our offense. Unfortunately, Giannis has no trust, no faith in the offense to get him a good look. So what is he going to do? He's going to post up on Nick Claxton here. And he's going to do a one-legged Dirk fadeaway, something that is not in his arsenal. He just missed 2 free throws in a row. What are we doing here? Bad coaching, bad decision-making, bad basketball. I'm doing this analysis breakdown in real time. And when a team is playing this aggressive, you just got to play fast. You got to use their aggressiveness to your advantage. You got to backdoor cut guys, run some split cut Warriors action, run something that's going to make these guys overplay, backdoor them. Every defense in the NBA has weakness. You just run counters. You make adjustments. And Doc Rivers, of course, is incapable of making an adjustment. I'm going to call this a frustration turnover. Dennis Schroeder here is playing full court press. Obviously, the Nets have been hounding the Bucks all night. Damian Lillard runs into the action. It's apparently a single ball screen for Giannis to come up, set it, and then Dame to, I guess, take the Ben Simmons switch and hope that Giannis can go one-on-one versus Dennis Schroeder. Not really sure what the goal is here. Single ball screens is as complex as the offense gets for Milwaukee. Dame, frustrated, says, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Drives hard. If this is true 5-out spacing, you get 2 open 3-point shooters here that Damian Lillard can kick to. Obviously, he's not going to. Dorian Finney-Smith digs in. Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, whatever, rotates. And Damian Lillard makes a poor decision with the basketball. Now, I don't know if he gets stripped here from Dorian, or I don't know if Cam Thomas kicks out a leg, kicks out an arm here and deflects a pass. Either way, this is a frustration turnover. Naturally, it leads to 2 points. Cam Johnson gets the easy bucket. And then I don't even know what happens here. Taurean Prince just needs to get off my team. He passes the ball. Giannis doesn't look. It bounces off of him. So I believe you're able to touch that. I might be wrong. Go check the rule book. But once it touches another player, you can touch the ball again. Taurean Prince loses his mind. Cam Johnson touches it again. He says, no, somebody else has to pick it up. I mean, check the rule book. Maybe you need to have possession before you're allowed to touch the ball again from an inbound. But I think that was a brain dead move by Taurean Prince. So here we go. Once again, disaster. 15 seconds on the shot clock before we've even started our offense. Here's the offense. Single ball screen from Brook Lopez. He's going to hammer. Ben Simmons going to switch on. Dorian Finney-Smith going to switch on. The Nets like to play switch everything defense. So now Giannis, one-on-one, 13 seconds left on the shot clock. What are you going to do? We're not going to flow into any actions. We're not going to run any off-ball movement. We're going to have 5 guys stand around. Giannis says, I have no idea. Gives it to Brook. Brook does a dribble handoff with Damian Lillard. Doesn't set the screen, though. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. We've wasted 7 seconds for nothing. Giannis is calling for it in the post. Dame kicks it to Taurean Prince, who, of course, doesn't do the one thing that he's out there on the floor to do, which is shoot the 3. Cam Johnson makes a great closeout, by the way. And now, dead possession. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, miss. Naturally, once again, frustration. Giannis is mad. Slowly jogs back on defense. That's fine. Now we have to play some defense, guys. Let's match up. Cam Johnson, you have Damian Lillard guarding you. Brook Lopez is picking up Ben Simmons. Gary Trent's picking up the ball. Taurean Prince, what are you doing? Giannis, what are you doing? Possession goes. Taurean Prince is standing in the middle of nowhere here, guarding nobody. Dorian Finney-Smith is wide open. Giannis is guarding the trail. Somebody guard Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't care who. They play a little hot potato here. Dorian Finney-Smith is still open. Nobody's even bothered to rotate. And now, wide open 3. Bang. Luckily, they miss. Ben Simmons doesn't know how to rebound. Damian Lillard brings the ball up the court. Somebody has to shout out, Damian, Ben Simmons is right behind you. They're trying to strip the ball from you. Communicate. This is team basketball. Taurean Prince naturally is looking this way. Gary Trent, yell. Brook Lopez, yell. Somebody tell Damian Lillard, just play a little smart with the ball. Ben Simmons misses that layup because he's bad at basketball. You think on a missed layup, you'd want to push the pace a little bit, get into your offense. You're down by 17 points here. Let's push. Let's get threes. Let's get guys running. No, we're going to bring the ball up with Damian Lillard. Guess what Damian Lillard's going to do now that he's frustrated that they're losing? Ball screen from Brook. They switch. No advantage gained here. Damian Lillard, step back. Bad look. 3. Foot was probably on the line. Nobody gets the rebound. Game's over at this point. Just for the sake of time, we could talk quickly about the Donovan Mitchell game winner. This is running way longer than I thought it would. Damian Lillard hits a clutch go-ahead 3-pointer here. Step back on Isaac Okoro. Good shot. That's what your leaders do. That's what your MVP's got to do. Now you got to play defense. 9.8 seconds left. After timeout, put in your best defenders. I'm taking Dame out. I'm putting in Giannis. I'm putting in DeLon Wright. I'm putting in all my best wing defenders. Instead, they go Damian Lillard, horrific. Taurean Prince, horrific. Giannis, Brook Lopez, questionable. And Gary Trent, horrific. Gary Trent's going to be on an island for this whole possession. Cavs try to get Dame on a switch. They don't let it happen. Ball almost goes into the backcourt. And I'm going to be honest, this was pretty good defense from Gary Trent Jr. Donovan Mitchell drives. He gets the bump, gets a little bit of a tip. Ball doesn't quite bounce the way that you need it to for a turnover. Donovan Mitchell has one chance. Now here's the problem. Gary Trent doesn't have the wingspan to contest this jump shot. His arms are short. He is not a defensive stopper. Why is he guarding the other team's best player? That goes back to roster problems. Pull up, good defense, but the ball is here. The release is here. Gary Trent Jr.'s arms can only go so high. Buckets. Game over. You lose again. And this was the second Cavs game. Now Giannis is out because he's injured. Like I said, Giannis gets hurt. So who's on the court for the bench unit? This is the spark plug we're going to fight until the starters can come back. You have Ryan Rollins, who I didn't even know was on the roster. Andre Jackson Jr., AJ Green, Pat Connaughton, and Bobby Portis. That is not an NBA rotation. I got to be honest, when Giannis is out, I'm having Damian Lillard play 40. And I got to have a game. Chris Middleton out, Giannis out, Damian Lillard has to step up. Good defense, they get a turnover here. Unfortunately, Pat Connaughton has to be the primary ball handler while Ryan Rollins is calling for it. Again, these are real NBA players. I didn't make them up. Pat Connaughton says, go, let's run our offense. Single ball screen from Bobby Portis. They're looking to get him in the post. Great. Bobby sets basically a fake screen here for Andre Jackson Jr. Nobody fears Andre Jackson Jr.'s ability to shoot the ball. Andre gets the pass. Now just kick it down to Georges Niang. This is a mismatch. Bobby Portis may not be a great defender, may not be great at a lot of things, but he is good at bowling people in the post, especially when their name is Georges Niang. He's going to spin on him. He's going to fade. This is a mismatch. This is your best offense right now because Pat Connaughton, Andre Jackson Jr., AJ Green, and Ryan Rollins aren't going to get you anything. Now let's see what Andre Jackson Jr. does here. Again, this is offensive coaching. Fakes the entry pass, drives on Donovan Mitchell, spins, disgusting shot. Now, would you believe it? Andre Jackson Jr. gets the rebound. By the way, the Cavs played horrible this game until the final 2 minutes. They should have lost this game as both teams should have lost this game. But Andre Jackson Jr. is now bringing the ball up the court for you. That's unfortunate. Swings it over to Pat Connaughton. Bobby's going to come over, set the screen. Pat's going to try to create if that's in his arsenal. And let's hope that something happens here. Cavs play drop. Pat kicks it to Bobby Portis. Andre Jackson Jr. tries to cut. Evan Mobley recovers. No advantage in this first action. Okay, so flow into more action. Now we're doing a dribble handoff with Ryan Rollins. Who's this? Ty Jerome? I don't know. Goes under the screen because Ryan Rollins is bad. Once again, no advantage on the dribble handoff is attained. Now they kick it to Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis, contested three, missed. They're playing 4 smalls on the court, and the big is the one who takes the 3. Naturally, nobody's around for the offensive rebound. This is simple. Double screen here. First one from Evan Mobley, second one from Sam Merrill. First one, Andre Jackson Jr. is going to have to go over because they're playing at half court. Bobby Portis is in drop. Then you have a Ryan Rollins guard switch here. First one, Andre goes under. Next one, Ryan Rollins switches, but Andre Jackson decides, oh, I forgot Sam Merrill, one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, and now he's late to contest. Pat Connaughton has to help because Andre Jackson makes a mental error. Now we have an open corner 3 for the minivan, Georges Niang. Great ball fake there from Sam Merrill. Buckets. Again, coaching, miscommunications this time, and it's not even from the guy who's barely on the team in Ryan Rollins. This was Andre Jackson Jr. Been there for 2 years now. I don't know what we're doing here, so I think they saw how effective the full court press was against the Nets, so they have Ryan Rollins shading full court against Darius Garland. They say, Ryan Rollins, make life difficult on Darius Garland. So Georges Niang here smartly sets a screen at half court. There should never be a time when you're getting hammered by a screen at half court. You go under. You never try to fight over because nobody's going to take a half court shot unless it's Steph Curry against the Thunder. Game winner, bang. Way downtown, bang! Ryan tries to go over here and gets just completely obliterated by the screen, causing your primary defender, your best guard defender on the court, to have to switch onto the minivan. So now you have Pat Connaughton. Pat, flat-footed, not a great defender, Connaughton, having to play one-on-one versus Darius Garland, one of the faster players in the NBA, blows right by him like he wasn't even there. Bobby Portis has to rotate. AJ Green doesn't even try to really help here. He just waves at Darius Garland. Hey, how you doing? Great pass. Jared Allen could kick it out to Sam Merrill here for an open 3, or he could just throw it down, or whatever this is, and then throw it down. Curious, this is why Ryan Rollins is not in the NBA. He's running back step for step with Darius Garland here. Got to keep your head on a swivel. Got to pay attention when you're shadowing full court. They're running up the court. He doesn't know it yet, but the Cavaliers are already running into their offense. Dribble handoff here from Jared Allen to Darius Garland. Ryan Rollins ends up, jeez, look how far away he is. He ends up here. Darius Garland is already accepting the dribble handoff here. Now, Darius Garland has deep range. He could take this shot. Ryan Rollins has to recover to the ball, except now Jared Allen is setting a screen, and he's flipping it to the other side. Ryan Rollins doesn't know that this is happening. Pump fakes. Now he's both got himself out of the play and behind the screen. This is a wide open pull-up 3, possibly an and 1 for Darius Garland. I think this is the scheme that Doc Rivers wants to run, is have Bobby Portis operate out of the post here, have somebody in the dunker spot, and then have 1, 2, 3 3-point shooters along the perimeter. That's just terrible spacing. Let's say Bobby Portis somehow beats Jared Allen, who's a great defender, with the backdoor spin. He's got Evan Mobley right in his face, and unless he makes a beautiful dump-off pass for a dunk, that's going to be a tough contested shot, and you're asking a lot from Bobby Portis here. Instead, he's going to ISO, fade away, miss. You already don't give Bobby Portis the space to go around his man with a great post move. You're just basically asking for a fadeaway jumper from Bobby Portis to be your primary offense here. After a wide open 3 that missed from Darius Garland here, they're kind of on a break. I don't really think so. Damian Lillard passes it up to Bobby Portis. Bobby says, oh, I have Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year candidate on me. Let me pull this out. Let's run some offense. Great. He gets it over here. This looks like it's going to go into Damian Lillard's hands. It looks like he's calling for the ball. Looks like he says, look, I'm the only superstar left on the team now that Giannis is out and Chris Middleton has been out. Let's do something. Brooke doesn't even look at him. He doesn't even give him the time of day. He doesn't say, oh, are you Damian Lillard? He says, no, let's go to AJ Green and Bobby Portis once again to run our offense. I don't even know what this. They're gonna turn into zoom action, but now AJ Green tries to go backdoor. Naturally, Brook Lopez is not gonna be able to make this pass. Let alone should he, because AJ Green is not an elite playmaker, finisher. Instead, it's Bobby Portis. Do something. Bobby Portis, do something. We wasted the possession. There's 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Bobby Portis, do something. 5, 4, 3, 2, blocked, pathetic, turnover. Now, you may not notice, but this is actually a fast break. Donovan Mitchell makes an embarrassing attempt at a layup. Pat Connaughton is running. Darius Garland picking him up. AJ Green is running. Isaac Okoro picking him up. They're both three-point shooters. So now you have big versus little. Damian Lillard versus Evan Mobley in transition. But wait, out of nowhere, Bobby Portis, the hustler, is sprinting here. A perfect pass, bounce it, throw it over. However you want to get it by Evan Mobley to Bobby Portis here is 2 points. But remember, Damian Lillard is not an elite passer here. He throws it behind Bobby, who's now both having to contort himself backwards, collect the ball, try to finish. He's not even thinking pass down to the corner to AJ Green here because he doesn't have that in his skill set. Instead, ugly contested layup, miss. I know there's a lot of bad Bobby Portis here. This is the problem in the NBA when you ask guys who are incapable of doing things to do too much. Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, CJ McCollum, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you ask somebody to play outside of themselves, outside of the role that they're capable of, outside of their strengths, they're not going to play well. So yeah, it's easy. Blame Bobby Portis. Blame Brook Lopez. No, blame the coach. Blame Doc Rivers for not putting his players in position to succeed. And we can just speed this play up. 18 seconds here as they start to get into their offense. Single ball screen, get the switch for Evan Mobley, defensive player of their candidate, onto Damian Lillard. Can't blow by him. Dribbles, 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 dribbles. Step back, long two. Most inefficient shot in the NBA. Most unrewarding shot in the NBA. Step back two, contested, miss. I mean, once again, 7 seconds remaining. Damian Lillard ISO ball. No offense is being executed. Brook Lopez corner, AJ Green corner, Andre Jackson flattened out, Bobby Portis flattened out. I mean, I think Damian Lillard makes this shot, but once again, it's just Damian Lillard save our possession for the 5th, 6th, 7th time, step back three, bang. But again, we need to get efficient shots for our team. Damian Lillard is capable of saving us. Let's not make him save us every possession. Now this possession sickens me. Once again, pulling Damian Lillard into the screen. AJ Green guarding Darius Garland, which is already a mismatch. Damian Lillard, I think he plays drop coverage here, but then he complains to AJ Green that you need to switch. I'm not sure what happens here. Either way, miscommunication. Damian Lillard goes back. He's yelling at somebody. He's yelling at Darius Garland. You're supposed to be passing to Isaac Okoro. He might be yelling that it's an illegal screen. It doesn't matter. You got to play the game. You got to play. Instead, now we have 2 guys on Isaac Okoro. No guys on Darius Garland here. Darius Garland says, oh my God, I've never been this open in my life. Now Brook Lopez needs to rotate down. Lob is open. Once again, Brook Lopez is late to commit because he's getting old. Floats up and over him. 2 points. Now notice what we're doing here. Damian Lillard has the ball, 16 seconds remaining. He just crossed the half-court line. All of a sudden, they said, you know what? Let's get the ball out of Damian Lillard's hands. He's capable of winning this game. Let's send a double team. Wow, did you know you're allowed to do that, Doc Rivers? Damian Lillard immediately turns it over. Cavs effectively run the entire shot clock here playing keep away. Then they get a great possession out of this. Jared Allen coming to set the screen here on AJ Green. Brook Lopez has to step up. Brook actually plays good defense here. AJ Green, clank, Brook Lopez right up on Darius Garland. He does what Damian Lillard is incapable of doing. Tosses the ball up and over the 2 defenders here. Jared Allen, perfect catch. Bobby Portis, you got to play defense here. You got to get big. I know you're about 6'9". Jump, foul Jared Allen. He's not a great 3-point shooter. Just get the ball out of Jared's hands. Even if it's a dump off or an alley-oop to Evan Mobley, just make something happen here on the defensive end. Instead, no defense, layup, 2-possession game, ball game, Bucks lose. Game over. Now the issues lie on both sides of the basketball. Let's start with the offensive side where, look, I know Damian Lillard loves hoisting 30-foot step back threes, but can we please run some offense? Can we please run something to get him better looks than stepping back from 30, every single possession. What I notice is that, first of all, their offense never gets into sets until the 14-second mark. You've got Giannis Antetokounmpo, a speed freak, a demon, somebody who's going to go coast to coast, court to court, push the pace every single possession that he can to get free points. Barrel into the chest, draw a foul. And you know what Doc Rivers' offense is? Walk the ball up the court, slowly get into your offensive set, and then by the time you actually run a play, there's 14 seconds left in the shot clock. Then the play he runs is a single pick and roll with Brook Lopez, and then create something for me, please. No off-ball movement, no flowing into other sets, and just one screen, get a switch, ISO, and create something for me. And that worked in 2008. That worked when Kobe Bryant was the mid-range killer. That worked when your best player was Kevin Garnett, who could shoot over the top. But in today's NBA, we need efficiency. We need movement. We need action. We need three-point shooters getting open. We need cuts to the basket. We are in the pinnacle of efficient offenses. And ISO sets, getting guys post touches, that's great. That's Doc Rivers' best talent. Doc Rivers' best talent is getting guys the most inefficient shot in the league. This isn't 2008 anymore. Barack Obama isn't president. The iPhone sucks now and nobody can buy a house. You have to get with the times. You have to adapt, and Doc Rivers has not. As for their defense, I mean, it's not terrible. They just have poor defenders on the team. Imagine that you miss most of your shots because you run a horrific offensive set. That means you give up a lot of points in transition. You're constantly running back, trying to catch up with the other team who's playing a more modern brand of offense, who's pushing the pace, who's looking to score layups or three-pointers in transition. So you're going to give up a lot of points to your defensive rating there. Then you have individual defenders who are awful, specifically Damian Lillard, Gary Trent Jr., and Taurean Prince. Dame by himself has completely cratered as a defender. I don't know what happened between the trade from Portland and some of the injuries to where he is now. He is horrific. He is beyond a below average defender. When he was at his peak, he was a net zero defender. Not good, not bad, just completely neutral. And then his offensive firepower outweighed everything that he did. In Milwaukee, he is a minus defender. Beyond that, he is a minus defender to where he's probably Tyrese Halliburton or worse, where they have him showing, they have him hedging. They don't even bother to have him switching on to other guys, creating defensive liabilities and mismatches. Gary Trent Jr. cannot be your defensive stopper. I don't care. I like Gary Trent Jr. I don't love him. He makes a lot of mental errors that will make you want to put a fist through the TV, but he's a good shooter. He just cannot be your defensive stopper. You'll notice in the game-winning shot against Donovan Mitchell, who is he D'ing up? Donovan Mitchell. Jaden McDaniels blocks that shot. Josh Minnow blocks that shot. Tumani Kamara blocks that shot. Gary Trent Jr. does not have the wingspan, does not have the height, does not have the frame to be an elite defender. He shouldn't be your primary defensive stopper. And of course, Taurean Prince, get off my team. I don't know how he keeps earning positions and roles. He, at best, is like a 10th man, comes in, gives you a little effort. Darvin Ham and the Lakers went through this exact same problem. Ironically, Darvin Ham back on the coaching staff. Taurean Prince cannot be playing 30 minutes a night. And then on top of the individual defenders, there's no connectivity to this team. Their help defenders don't help. When AJ Green or Damian Lillard or some other horrific Bucks defender is on an island, you bring help. You throw in a double. You play as a connected unit. Defenses in the modern NBA are this singular sort of blob, rotating, helping, rotating again. They have this Vulcan mind meld. They all play as a single individual unit instead of 5 guys. And the Bucks don't do that. That points back to bad coaching. And lastly, the roster is flawed, which is why they continue to lose games. Look no further than Chris Middleton being out. And after all the drama with his knee, man, I don't know if he'll ever return. There was some articles where he said, oh, I have knee swelling every single year. I just manage it in the off season so it lets me play games. What? Oh, I have a broken leg every single season, but I've learned how to manage it. So now that I'm 33 and my body's breaking down, I'll be fine. That's not how your body works. That's not how the human body works, Chris Middleton. And it's no wonder why he's missed this entire season so far. And it's no wonder why he missed a lot of last season. He's an often injured guy. And at his peak, he was the key between them winning and losing basketball games. He was their closer against the Miami Heat. He was their shot maker, the bucket getter. And now he can't even stay on the court healthy more than 5 games in a row. Giannis as well sits out about 20 games a season. I know he looks like an Iron Man. He usually leaves with an injury when he sprints in full court, coast to coast, barreling into people's chests. Look, Giannis has injury woes as well. Damian Lillard, same thing. His body's starting to break down. Brook Lopez's body is starting to break down. These guys are old. I think they were the oldest team in the NBA last season. And with aging superstars on your team, you got to go 10 deep. Of course, you still have to sign these guys to big contracts, preferably not super max contracts. And then you need to go deep. You need to be creative. You need to be intelligent in the front office. Look at the Warriors. They signed Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, and Kyle Anderson to replace the hole that Klay Thompson left. Bringing guys like Spencer Dinwiddie, Lonnie Walker, Najee Marshall, NBA caliber guys who can fit a role on a team, play either defense, play either offense, be a bit of a two-way guy, be a spark plug off the bench, even Russell Westbrook. But no, they signed DeLon Wright, who's been an abomination, Taurean Prince, who's horrific. Gary Trent Jr. is their one free agent splash, and he's playing outside of his role already. And then who do we have here? Terrence Davis, waived. Ibu Baji, waived. Liam Robinson, two-way contract. Stanley Amude, terrible. Jalen Galloway, waived. Tyler Smith, draft pick, hasn't seen a minute. They didn't bring back Patrick Beverley. They didn't bring back Jay Crowder. I don't know if those guys can offer anything to a rotation anymore, but I mean, this was just one of the worst free agencies I've ever seen. And this team is trying to compete for a championship right now. And it's just got to be frustrating, even as a guy who's not a Bucks fan. Every single possession, it feels like something goes wrong. Either a player makes a mental mistake, or the scheme is terrible, or Damian Lillard forgets that he needs to play defense again. It's just painful to watch, and the Bucks are in a bad situation until they get rid of the worst coach in the history of the sport, Doc Rivers. Docker, what is Doc's real name? Glenn. His real name's Glenn. That's why. Glenn Anton Doc Rivers has to go. That's going to do it for this breakdown. I know we went a little longer than expected. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you agreed with, what you disagree with, and I'll catch you in the next one.